Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on the ICC and I'm going to kibitz a 5-minute game. Well, actually, this one just started, so I was going to finish one game and jump into another one, but we'll see this one right from the start. Two international masters going at it who are fairly evenly matched, or have pretty even ratings, I should say. We have Nimzo with this c3 just getting in the e4 advance. Black is trying to play against these doubled pawns. One idea is to play the knight out to this a5 square and b6, bishop to a6. And that's what we could be seeing right away. So white has to be prepared to do something on the king side. This is black playing against this pawn structure, white having the bishop pair. And you'll note that these pawns are going to be the ones around to watch over the dark squares, since there's no counterpart for black. There is no black square bishop anymore. So I think e5 now. Otherwise, black starts to get overrun, and this seems very appealing right now to play this e5 advance. Okay, just the main point here to try and break down that structure. I think that it was maybe a missed opportunity. So now this is, I believe, exactly what black would want, namely having a closed position and closed center, and now you can move forward with bishop to a6, I believe. So the queen coming out, you could defend like this, but one idea is to just castle and then try to get the queen on this diagonal. Offering a queen exchange is going to benefit, and in the meantime is going to benefit white, and in the meantime knight b3 to try and break down this blockade. So this is a nice repositioning move. White, I believe, now is the side that's just doing better. If this right here cannot be maintained, this knight on a5, he's essentially the glue. He's the one that's holding together this whole queen side. Without him, everything, I think, will fall apart. And, well, we're either going to have doubled a pawns, okay, because otherwise taking here is just peeling open the a file, and black is certainly going to be doomed. That bishop would fall, and soon thereafter the king. So I don't know that there's really any rush. Maybe you could improve with rook a to b1. I'm seeing that having this pawn advanced on f5, it's like white is dominating in having space when it comes to the central control and also kingside control. And I don't know if this is really a necessity. It seems like maybe there's a way to still be making progress on the queen side, but white, I guess, is showing that they could play on both sides of the board, and there's absolutely nothing that black could do but be in the unfortunate position where you have to sit and wait. Not a good position to be in. I've had to play many positions like that. One of the very last games that I played over the board against a GM, I was just having to, it seemed like right out of the opening, wait to just have my opponent make slow, steady progress, whereas I could do nothing at all. And that's unfortunately the position I believe black is now in. What I think the king will probably find it best to sneak up to this e2 square and then get these rooks over here. I like that white is keeping this tension, seeing how the knight really doesn't have an opportunity to be taking here. Otherwise, well, not only can you be losing the bishop for one, but also you could recapture, repair the pawn structure, and open up the a file. So in short, white does well to just keep this tension, not yet capture the knight. And by keeping this tension, another way to view it is that white is constraining the queen to the defense of a5. She can't go so far. So that's why black is investing so much time at that point. I believe preparing to now double along the b file and then get this push in. Okay, so maybe the knight just drops back right now, or we're going to have mass exchanges. These are definitely concrete lines that are having to be crunched right now. Knight takes, pawn takes, both sets of rooks come off. I don't know, this rook, or this bishop, maybe not the greatest piece. Or no, what am I talking about? Pawn push, you just do queen takes knight. My mistake. So this idea of doubling the rooks was really just, I guess maybe in some sense, a bluff. The b5 was never a threat. So in the meantime, king g3, if g5 is to be played, Well, white has to be a little bit careful because this g5 move, we could have an exchange and then maybe something like g6 and the king side gets blown open. So now we're having action. Everything is getting... I thought everything was going to get exchanged. Not so fast. So we still have a pair of rooks. White, I believe, still remains the better side. This bishop not so hot, but now, okay, now things are becoming much more clear. We're just having the win of a pawn. Win of a pawn, right? Rook takes or queen takes. Okay, this pawn is pinned. Endgame. There's no way to get active still for black. And now g5, this king position earlier, I thought, or I was saying that g5, you have to be a little bit careful because it could blow open. But now this is exactly where the king would want to be because of the main difference being that the queens are now off the board. And with this pawn having so great a depth, I think that there's the potential for a bishop move here if the rook goes elsewhere. But now we're having, yet again, this idea of black following through on this square. And rook here is still threatening bishop to this square, exploiting a pin. So I believe he has to drop back. But now this pawn falls. Very, very interesting game. So although black is down a pawn, the extra pawn that white has is doubled and not really much of a factor in how to make further progress. These rooks are just in stalemate. Just one attacker, one defender. As soon as you sidestep this idea, this is the most aggressive piece, and you really actually can't even get either bishop working. Might it now be the case that we have bishop takes pawn? Which piece would you rather have? So okay, well I guess I just can't make sense of where this king thinks he's going. Going over here, he ends up just getting stuck, and so too is the rook. White is just 2 moves away from quickly making use of the b file, so I think the king has to stay over on the queen side of the board. But then again, these guys are both down on time, blitz mode, and now the position has opened up some, so maybe the c4 square is going to be made available for the king. And with c4, now this bishop can have a target in that of this pawn. Very interesting. I'm starting to now like white. Bishop d2 to a5. And also this king could sneak over to a3. Put the bishop on a5, get the king over to a3. White is now the better side. Okay, the knight is getting ready to kick the rook, but he's just going to quickly make use of the b file. It seems like this pawn is going to fall, and white is definitely the better side. It's exactly what you would like to have if you have just one bishop. You would like to have your pawns all on light squares, and these are all potential targets. The rook could just, if the rooks come off the board, there's, again, this possibility for just bishop to h6. If pawn is ever capturing, he's on a fast track to queen. So there is this pin. There's issues with opposition. I believe that that's what was being considered. And now, okay, exploiting that pin. As soon as the king played there, that was available, giving up the c pawn, but knowing that you're going to get the more valuable g pawn in return. 45 seconds for black, 1:09 for white. White is the better side. This pawn will fall, and everything is really going to fall. The knight can't come back to defend. I think it would have been better to just take with the bishop, and if knight d7, then you could still take because of the pin, but now there's just no way to prevent the pawn from promoting. We're going to have resignation, and that's exactly what we have. So very, very interesting game, and this guy is now running through some, I guess he's in examine mode here. It's a very strong position. There's no way to stop the queening of the pawn. That was game over. So I hope you enjoyed that game. I certainly did. It went back and forth quite a bit, and very interesting game out of the Nimzo-Indian. So that's all for now. Take care. Bye.